welcome to all of you, all the members of the beauty and the wellness industry to the 5th mega event which we do on the business of salon and wellness industry. It's a very proud moment for me to be standing here because I think this is really what I call the elitist club of the industry that is present over here today in this hall. And the fact that you've left your business here today to learn more about the beauty industry and what in the business you want to see further growing and where do you see it going, more importantly, is something that is really wonderful. So I think first of all, I'm going to start by actually giving a big hand to all the members of the beauty industry who've come here today to make all the difference in the next 1 year. So a huge round of applause to all of you. For some reason, I have been observing our gods and idols very closely for the past few months, particularly since we were putting together this show, the Beauty and Wellness Show. And I always thought that, our gods are so well dressed, they're beautiful, not a speck of hair out of place, whether it's a, male god or a goddess, they're just perfect. So I thought that maybe, even at the beginning of time, so this industry probably existed in some form or the other even back then, Obviously, they couldn't have been doing it all by themselves. So, so the industry is really old, pretty much like as old as time itself. So whatever format it might have existed in, but certainly it has been there. So I think we cannot say, and trust me, I work with quite a few industries at Franchise India, and I'm telling you this because it's been existing for centuries and it's been going on for centuries and growing for centuries. So I think that's kudos to an industry which never really, decided to go out of business or never really got disrupted or never really got, look at, I was just wondering in the morning about some industries. I remember there was a corner STD that I used to see sometimes. It's just gone. There was those corner booths one used to see at times. So a lot of industries have actually gone away, but this industry has stood test of virtually every time. So I think that's great. How much can, a lot of industries cannot really say that. So that is my submission number one. So when we say that there is not enough growth happening in this industry, so I think, a good budget or a bad budget, war or no war, a good match or a bad match, a good economy or a no good economy, good government, bad government, doesn't matter for this industry. Because people's, as a business, the consumers has a half-inch hair growth, which is going to happen regardless of everything, and for which he is going to go to the beauty industry regardless of everything. So I think there is a sitting consumer sitting. So when the industry comes and tells me that there is not enough growth, it really makes me think why. Why is there not enough growth? Because the consumer is never going to go away out of this industry. We all need our haircuts. We all need to look good. It's something that we have been born with. So obviously, I feel then the problem perhaps for growth lies somewhere else. I see impact in industries like e-commerce, and e-commerce has been around for good 2001 or 2002. I remember that was the first time I met eBay in the US, and until about 2003 when I met eBay in India. And they were just starting up, and few consumers here and there who started, started consuming, I would say, e-commerce. But it was never till Flipkart did not come into being that honestly we did not see a big boom or a big ruckus being created by e-commerce in this country. So my point is that there are always a few industries or a few brands or a few companies who come forward and take a lead. We also have had it in India in this very industry itself. So I think this industry probably started, I would say, with Ms. Shahnaz Hussain, who probably started the very early salons back in, I would say, early 60s or maybe 70s when probably she was in her full bloom, who gave the sense of salons and places where you could go out and get your beauty treatments done. It still continues to rock. She's still one of the biggest pillars of the industry. The second phase was where I saw a lot of stylists coming forward and actually putting up a lot of salons. We saw Javed Habib doing some great work and still continues to do so. When I say these are phases, I see them as, the journey of the industry, which has actually enriched the industry in various ways. I also saw, today there's Naturals, there's Lakme, who put up, multiple salons they put up. I mean, I think I was just talking to Mr. Kumaravel, who's got about 525 salons, Lakme, which has over 450 salons, which is a great thing. The industry has grown. There was a chain growth that has come in, and probably today, as you see more newer age, we have Gitanjali, we have Lux. They're all doing some wonderful work out there. They're making salons which are probably more modern age. So I think, the industry has been growing. And this was interesting when somebody just came and asked me about 3 days back. It was an investor actually. And he came and asked me, do you think that the industry has had its full? Do you think it's an industry which has probably become too competitive because there's no more room? So I thought, and I think my answer was very simple to him. And I said that there would be about 15 branded players in the industry. And between these 15 branded players, there are about 3,500 salons that exist. And on the other hand, there is a market of 1 million salons that exist in this country, which are barber stores or beauty salons, and they're unbranded. So the opportunity has not finished. I would say it's not even started. We just touched, I would say we've not even touched the tip of the iceberg. It's just 0.01% growth that we have seen in the branded segment in this country. So my point is that an industry which is growth embedded into it, which has a great potential to grow, why is it not growing? Why is the growth still stalling this industry? Probably the answer somewhere lies in this room itself. It is with all of you people to really think and understand why this growth that we wanted to happen has not happened. Why have we not got the funding that lots of other industries have received? Why have we not been able to make the impact that lots of other industries have been able to make? Look at e-commerce. When did they come? When did they make such a huge impact? So I think it's time for all of us to really introspect and see that we need to actually flex our business muscle. We are too tight on our business models perhaps. We're more concerned about saving our business or saving the little pennies into our business than the big pounds that are out there to be taken. And I think that is what all of you need to today introspect. It's a full day of conference. We've got some great lineup of speakers, some great minds sitting in the beauty industry. Once again, I would repeat myself in saying this is the elitist club of the oldest industry, sitting right here in this room today. And you have all the answers which probably need to be taken to help that growth to come, wherein this industry would really get its real fame, which truly belongs to it. Yeah, it's not even that it doesn't belong to it. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time that we loosen up a bit. Businesses, my friends, were never made to hold tight and sit tight on them. They were always meant to be made for growth. They were always meant to be made for becoming large. So if you are not flexing your business muscle enough, this is one day which is going to help you think a little more about where your business ought to go. When we started this very Salon and Wellness Congress, the first thing we at Franchise India, together with some of the leaders in this industry, decided that this show was going to be about the business. We were not going to talk about some great styles that were out there or what the fashion-oriented consumers really wanted in terms of the cuts. We were only going to talk the business that would take the industry further, and it still continues to retain the DNA. But I would be more happier to see if the DNA is actually multiplied and executed in the year to come before we hold another edition of this show.